Hi everyone, welcome to the video. Today in this video, we are going to discuss the market outlook for tomorrow. Before we discuss the market outlook, it is also important to know what happened to the markets today. For which I have opened the chart of Nifty. So I am just going to change this to 5 minutes where we are going to get a better idea. So today, markets ended up opening almost around 100 points gap down. So this gap down didn't come as a surprise because all the global cues were trading negative and it was quite obvious that the markets were opening gap down. We also know for a fact that Nifty is showing quite a lot of resilience in recent times. Even though all the global markets are falling, Nifty is still holding and it is looking very strong. And even today, in spite of most of the global cues being down by 1.5-2%, Nifty was just down almost around 0.6 to 0.7%. Not just that, so even during the day, Nifty tried to make a recovery, as we can see. So all the way from 16,100 where it opened, it tried to move towards 16,150, 170 and so on. But towards the end, it couldn't hold at the higher levels. So there was some severe sell-off which came in. So that we can actually look at by the institutional data. As we can see here, FIIs have sold for 1,500 crores and DIIs only bought for 140 crores. So there is a huge difference between the total selling and total buying. And obviously, when there is so much selling, it is hard for the market to sustain at these higher levels. We saw that the market started to slowly come down gradually and broke the day's low. And in spite of breaking the day's low, it somehow made a fantastic recovery around 2 o'clock. And this is the time when I say most of the intraday traders or intraday short straddle, whoever does intraday short straddle, might have taken a hit. The reason is this was a complete V-shaped move, and again after this we saw a big fall. So whoever entered around 1 o'clock might have taken a hit if the stop losses were low, because the market bounced up and immediately made a big fall. So this one bounce, even we got slightly trapped. We thought, okay, the market has seen a very strong bounce and the rally might continue. But towards the end, we started to see a steep fall in the market, that is especially around 3 o'clock time. So 2:30 onwards, we started to see a steep fall in the market. So now when we actually look at this, the price action is not so positive, because one, you can see the market almost closed at the lowest point of the day, and there was selling. Whenever we saw any kind of bounce, there was immediate selling. So we saw a huge bounce here, there was again selling here. So whenever there was some kind of bounce, there was immediate selling. So keeping this in mind, we will also look at what the OI is suggesting. So when I open Nifty OI right over here, so this is intraday OI change. So you can see that there is huge amount of put unwinding. So people are closing down 16,200 puts, 16,100 puts. So now the obvious question would be, why would people close 16,200 puts? So the simple answer to that would be, people are not expecting the markets to cross 16,200. Because if you are expecting the markets to end above 16,200, then quite obviously you will short 16,200 puts. But if you are not expecting the market to end above 16,200, then what will you do? You will close your short put positions and you add additional calls. So this is what has happened exactly right over here. So people have closed 16,200 and they have added 16,200 calls. So when we look at the overall open interest also, we do see that 16,200 has huge amount of call writing. So this can also be the highest OI on the call side. And because of this huge call writing, 16,200 is certainly going to act as a very strong resistance. So right now we are around 16,050, but 16,200 is definitely going to be a very good resistance for the market. And on the lower side, so we have ended today on a negative note. So we know that on the higher side, we have good resistance at 16,200. Now we will discuss about the support. What about the lower end? Where do we expect the market to find any kind of a support? So when we look at the daily chart, it is quite evident that 15,700 is a very strong support. But 15,700 is still 300 points lower. And that is almost around 2% in Nifty. So when we are doing intraday trades, it is important for us to understand where is a nearby support. So definitely 15,700 is a support, but is there any nearby support? And that seems to be around 16,000 based on the price action what we have seen. So most likely you can see that the market was taking some kind of a resistance right over here. So when I look at the daily chart, so you can see that this was a zone of resistance, because quite a couple of times as I zoom in, you get to see market failed to break 16,000. So right over here, so it was a huge gap down and it failed to break around 16,000 quite a couple of times, and finally we saw a breakout. And that's the reason for the short term, definitely 16,000 is going to act as a very strong support for the market. Let's assume that we do not hold 16,000 and we end up breaking 16,000 on the lower side, and not just that, we also close below 16,000. So then the next nearby support is around the zone of 15,700 to 15,800. Case number 1, where we open between 16,000 to 16,200, then I would love doing a short strangle. So this is something which already we discussed. So this is given that we are opening above 16,000. So now the case number 2, where we open below 16,000. So we open below 16,000. So then I would do a short strangle of 15,700 and 16,100. So this would be my short strangle idea. So this is the expectation from the market right now. And as you know that the thing is, we keep booking the trades as we make some small profits, and we also keep adjusting the trade. So it is not just about the entry, it is also to know when you have to make the exit or when you should do the adjustment. So even that is going to be the key. When you start with a short strangle, most likely you can simply convert it into a short straddle and continue adjusting from there. And when you have some good profit, you can also consider exiting these short strangles. Now we are just going to see Bank Nifty also. So Bank Nifty, again you can see that there is some good support near 35,000, and 35,500 is likely to act as some kind of a resistance. So even a short strangle around 35,000 and 35,500 can turn out to be a good idea in Bank Nifty. So the total number of calls and puts are more or less equal, and that's the reason we might not expect a huge move unless we either close below 35,000 or close above 35,500. So until then, we might end up consolidating around this range itself. And one more thing we should note is market in India is showing quite a lot of resilience, not just in terms of Indian indices, that is Nifty and Sensex, even if you look at the currency. So it is true that currency has gone all the way from 75, 76 closer towards 80. But what we should remember is, if you look at euro or maybe any other Asian market currencies with respect to dollar, they are much worse. So what India has depreciated is way lesser than what the other countries have actually gone through. So that way we are showing quite a lot of resilience, and I hope even this positivity or resilience in the market does continue to stay. And now we come to the final section where we are going to look at what happened to our trade today. So as you can see, this is what I have opened on Firstock. So let me just come to positions, and overall today's day M2M is just around 40,000. We ended totally flat. The main reason for this, as I already told, was that a huge V-shaped move what we got in the last hour. So there was a huge bounce back, and after that there was an immediate fall, and this resulted in most of our M2M getting eroded away. But the good part is we were still able to end the day with positive. So that is a good part, and the bad part is we lost most of our M2M in the V-shaped move. So with this, we also come to the end of this video. So looking at the month, it has gone fairly well, and we also hope that we continue to do the same way. And tomorrow we'll be joining with the expiry day outlook, and let's see what the market holds for us. So if you have liked this video, do not forget to hit the like button, share this video, and also subscribe to Optionables. Thank you so much for joining.